And I just realized that that my microphone has been muted this entire time. So yeah, let's try this again. Um, Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources and music done by Carrera and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and today is Tuesday, aka Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Man, the amount of comedy you missed at the beginning, but I guess the entire beginning is comical in itself. Anyway, let's move up into the history, shall we? Starting us off in the year 457, Leo I was crowned Eastern Roman Emperor, the first to be crowned by the Patriarch of Constantinople. Alright, well that's pretty cool. Jumping on up to 1301, about 900 years later, we got some English history in that time. Edward of Caernarfon, later Edward II, became the first English Prince of Wales. Alright. 1550, Giovanni Maria del Monte was elected Pope Julius III. Julius III! 1659, King Philip II formed Inquisition in South America. Alright, well nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, especially when they're wearing felt thimbles on their head. In 1653, Nicolas Fouquet was appointed France's Superintendent of Finances. Alright, and look at that collar, it looks like he's wearing the top of a helmet as neck protection. So. Then we got some music history. In 1668, Dutch Prince William III dances in a premiere of Ballet of Peace. Alright, so the king himself is dancing on stage. That's pretty cool. Like, I would love to see stuff like that. 1783, Great Siege of Gibraltar, launched by France and Spain against a British colony during the American War of Independence, was lifted after 3 years and 7 months. So yes, while we were fighting the redcoats out here in North America, the Gibraltar, the Rock of Gibraltar area in southern Spain was under siege. It's 3 years, 7 months. That's rough. We got another historical event here in 1812. Poet Lord Byron, 6th Baron Byron, made his maiden speech in House of Lords. All right, he was a romantic poet. So this is when the first speech he made. So, got a historic publication in 1836. Sketches by Boys, Essays, was published by Charles Dickens. All right, and his actual name was I guess it was Charles Dickens. I was thinking about somebody else. 1839, Henry Clay declared in Senate, quote, "I had rather be right than president," end quote. Hey, that speaks volumes right there. It says that not necessarily, is the president always right. Oftentimes he's actually wrong. 1845, the Portland vase, thought to date from the 1st century BC, was shattered into more than 80 pieces by a drunken visitor of the British Museum. Wow. Wow, he broke that. Jeez. That must have been an embarrassment. So, thankfully, though, they restored it. But you can see where it was cracked and all that stuff. That's a real shame, but they fixed it, so that's good. Moving on up to 1882, the last bare knuckle champion, John L. Sullivan, knocks out Paddy Ryan in Mississippi. Yep, John L. Sullivan. A real rough and tumble guy. We got some baseball history. In 1908, Philadelphia A's manager / owner Connie Mack sold future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Rube Waddle to the St. Louis Browns for $5,000. Huh. Alright. Well, I guess that was a pretty good amount of money back in that time, so... what was $5,000 in 1908? Let's see. $5,000, 1908, would be the equivalent of, let's see here. 5,000 would be the equivalent of $354,116.40. So, that's actually really low in comparison when you think about it. People are being sold, for like tens and hundreds of millions and stuff like that. Oh, we got the debut of The Tramp. In 1914, Charlie Chaplin debuted silent film character The Tramp in Kid Auto Races at Venice. Alright. 1924, Benito Mussolini's Italian government exchanged diplomats with USSR. Alright, so, yep, the Italians working with the Russians. You know, they weren't really allies, but they were like, you know, the Axis and the Soviet Union were friends for a little bit. You know, they did start the war together against Poland. Got a film premiere here in 1940. Walt Disney's second feature-length movie, Pinocchio, premiered in New York City. Alright. All the way back then. Huh. So I wonder if that's the same one that was on VHS. I'd assume so. 1 year later, 1941, Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey Orchestra recorded Everything Happens to Me. Huh. Alright. 1944, Bing Crosby recorded Swinging on a Star for Decca Records Academy Award Best Original Song. Alright. Pretty cool. Moving on up to 1945, General Douglas MacArthur returned to Manila. Yes, we spoke about this yesterday. Like after several years during during the Second World War, when the Philippines got conquered and he had to flee, he promised he'd be back, and he is a man of his word. He came back in force. 1948, Omar Bradley succeeded Dwight Eisenhower as U.S. Army Chief of Staff. That's, yeah, Bradley, you know, really, really good general. So, portrayed pretty well in the movie Patton, so I recommend going and seeing that. 1 year later, 1949, Joe DiMaggio became the first $100,000 a year baseball player for the New York Yankees. Alright, so I wonder if that's the first $100,000 a year ever, or the first $100,000 just for the New York Yankees. I think it would be the first one. Yeah. English could sometimes be misinterpreted by native speakers. So, 1 more year later, 1950, United States formally recognized the state of Vietnam as the legitimate government of Vietnam, with Bao Dai as leader. All right, yeah, that's actually a big move right there, because they were a colony of France in French Indochina. So, like French Indonesia, French China, French in that area. I guess Indochina region, India, China. Yeah, and then we then went to war with these guys. 1959, Fidel Castro proclaimed a new Cuban constitution. We spoke about this guy yesterday too. The Golden Loon was on, and you know, like after watching this, like, you know, yeah, yesterday's video was roughly an hour long too. But I would suggest, if you haven't seen it, like, you know, well, like, of course, like, you know, see any video that catches your interest. But, you know, there's history that happens every single day. So if you like what you see, you know, stick around, subscribe. 1961, Jane Fonda made her acting debut in the NBC drama A String of Beads. All right. Got another historic event. 1962, U.S. President JFK began blockade of Cuba by banning all Cuban imports and exports except for drugs and food. I believe there's 2 stipulations involving that. And that blockade, you know, and the blockade is another thing. I was thinking about the tariffs and whatnot that we put. It's a word, I can't remember it, but like we basically cut all trade with them except for 2 things, which was lifted like sometime in the late 90s, or I think early 2000s actually. Anyway, moving on up to 1965, George Harrison's tonsils were removed. Why do we care? Why is it highlighted? There's so many better things that should be highlighted or even reported about than this. I don't care about George Harrison's tonsils. We got a theater premiere in 1968. Arthur Miller's stage drama Price opened at Morsco Theater, later moving to the 46th Street Theater in New York City. Runs for 429 performances. That's pretty good. Television debut of This Is Tom Jones in 1969 occurred on the state on ABC TV. I can't talk, blah, 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 blah. 1969 as well, Al-Fatah leader Yasser Arafat became president of PLO, the People's Liberation Organization, I believe. We got Olympic gold in 1972. Dutch Olympic 1,500 meter and 5,000 meter speed skating champion Ard Schenk won his 3rd gold medal at the Sapporo Winter Games when he took out the 10,000 meter. Okay. 1978 as well, or 1973, the Three Stooges released their 3rd album, or the Stooges released their 3rd album, Raw Power. Dang, he looks really angry. We got a film premiere here in 1974, Mel Brooks' Western spoof film Blazing Saddles starring Cleveland Little and Gene Wilder, premiered at the Pickwick Drive-In in Burbank, California. Patrons watched from horseback rather than cars. Oh, that would have been wonderful. That would have been great. That would have been absolutely great to experience that. Man, I am envious of those people. 1974 as well, The Symbionese, which, by the way, go watch Blazing Saddles. Like, a great movie. You know, we need more of that in today's world. 1974, the Symbionese Liberation Army claimed responsibility for the kidnapping of Patty Hearst, daughter of Randolph Hearst. Yeah, we've spoken about this little nugget of time a couple of times in the past month. 1974 as well, UK Prime Minister Edward Heath called for a snap general election in the midst of a protracted miners' strike. Protracted miners' strike. All right, what protracted? What does that mean? Protracted. Lasting for a long time or longer than expected or usual. So during so this was during the miners' strike. Yep. Got an NHL record 2 years later, 1976. Toronto center Daryl Sittler set NHL record with 10 points in a Maple Leafs 11-4 win over Boston at Maple Leaf Gardens. 6 goals, 4 assists. That's really good. Music concert 1980. Pink Floyd premiered their live version of The Wall at the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California. And that's a great album. And apparently there's a movie about it, so I gotta watch that. 1984, Michael Jackson awarded a 4-foot-high platinum disc by CBS. Okay. 2 more years later, 1986, Corazon Aquino defeated incumbent Filipino dictator Ferdinand Marcos, but fraudulent returns gave the election to Marcos. Okay, well, you'd think that the dictator, would be the one committing fraud. That's strange. 1986 as well, Haiti's president for life, Jean-Claude Duvalier, fled to France. Henry Nemfi became the leader of Haiti. Oh, yep. Good. Get rid of the despots. 1987, Madonna's Open Your Heart single went number 1. Alright. While that was going on, in 1987 as well, U.S. Male Figure Skating Championship was won by Brian Boitano. What would Brian Boitano do if he were here right now? 1988, 38th NBA All-Star Game, Chicago Stadium, East Beast West. 138 to 133, MVP Michael Jordan for the Chicago Bulls forward. 1989, 40th NHL All-Star Game, Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. Campbell Conference defeated Wales Conference 9-5. MVP Wayne Gretzky of the LA Kings center. Great hockey player right there. While that was going on in 1989 as well, tennis superstar Bjorn Borg apparently attempted suicide in Milan. Ooh, that's rough. Sorry to hear, that you try to do that. And good, you're still alive, so keep on going. Keep on going, Bjorn, man. If you ever need help, there's people out there. 1991, Bob Knight, Larry O'Brien, Tiny Archibald, Dave Cohens, Harry Gallatin, and Larry Fleischer were elected to the NBA Hall of Fame. Yep. That's the face I expect. Whoa, hell yeah. 1992, Mike Tyson testified in his Struggle Snuggle trial. Eesh. You got the Maastricht Treaty in 1992, while Mike Tyson was dealing with that. The Maastricht Treaty was signed by 12 countries from the European Community, EC, to create the European Union, EU. Alright, so this is the formation of the EU. Look at that. So I see here we have the United Kingdom, Germany, of course, Belgium, Netherlands, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece. Yeah, that's right. Greece is part of it. So, alright. 1993, Carmen Electra released her self-titled debut album, Carmen Electra. That's okay. 1994, 21st U.S. Music Awards, Whitney Houston won. And 1994 as well, Howard Stern stopped a would-be jumper on the George Washington Bridge. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. He stopped somebody, but a lot of people claim that was probably a publicity stunt. All of it was staged in order to get him more notoriety and stuff, so I don't know. In today's world, I don't know. Either side, it's just as much chance to be true. 1995, bluegrass and country musician Alison Krauss released her compilation album, Now That I Found You. Okay. While that was going on, 1995 as well, last day of the Test cricket for Graham Gooch and Mike Gatling. The Gooch! No, they lost the Gooch. While Australia was losing the gooch in 1995 at double as well, Mercury Nashville Records released The Woman in Me, the second studio album by Shania Twain. Billboard Album of the Year in 1996. I knew someone named Shania, and she absolutely hated her name because of Shania Twain. Really funny, but yeah, turned out to be a psychotic individual. 2006, Uma Thurman was named Knight of the Ordre des Arts et des Lettres of France for outstanding achievement in the field of art and literature. Alright, cool. Dude, put that, on a bookshelf. Awesome. 2010, Super Bowl 44, I believe. Sun Life Stadium, Miami Gardens in Miami, Florida. New Orleans Saints defeated Indianapolis Colts 31-17. MVP Drew Brees, New Orleans quarterback. Okay. I know I read that weird, but 1 year later, 2011. Why does this guy look so much like Justin Trudeau? Yeah. Laureus World Sports Awards, Emirates Palace, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Sportsman Rafael Nadal. Sportswoman Lindsey Vonn. Team Spanish men's national football team. Okay. 2018, missing Nigerian painting masterpiece of life, Princess Adututu Ademilui by Ben Iwano was announced rediscovered in Lisbon. So let's see here. Let me see what that looked like here. Images. Oh, this one. Okay, we were talking about this. So I wonder if this is correlated because like a couple days ago we spoke about this. Saturday, I believe, actually. Oh. Anyway, that's interesting. Yeah, I remember his face now. Okay. We got Super Bowl 55. 2021, Super Bowl 55, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Tampa Bay Buccaneers dominated defending champion Kansas City Chiefs 31-9. MVP Tom Brady, Bucks quarterback Brady's record 7th SB win, Super Bowl. All right. Oh, I guess it's Super Bowl time. Was the Super Bowl last Sunday, or is it coming up? I don't know. Anyway, another Super Bowl here, 2021. The Weeknd became the first Canadian solo artist to headline the Super Bowl halftime show during Super Bowl 55 here. All right. And on this date, just last year in 2022, French President Emmanuel Macron met with Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Moscow amid buildup of Russian troops in the border with Ukraine. We all know how that ended up. Wow. It's always interesting just looking back, just 1 year in history even, and just seeing how much things have either changed, stayed the same, or gone absolutely batshit. So, anyway, before we move on up into Person Death's audience, was there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything that you wished I had elaborated more on here? Anything you would have liked to say had you been here? Start a dialogue in the comment section. Anyway, while you think about that, I'm going to continue on into bursts here, starting us off in the year 574. We have Prince Shotoku, Japanese regent and politician who promoted Buddhism. Horiji Temple died 622. We got Thomas More, 1478, was an English philosopher, Renaissance humanist, author of Utopia, and statesman, Lord Chancellor from 1529 through 32. He was born in London, and he died in 1535, so it sounds like he got a couple years of retirement. No, apparently he was beheaded and executed by Henry VIII for treason. That's not a good way to go out. Oh my god. Whoa, that escalated quickly. We got Maria Louise van Hessen-Kassel, 1688, was a princess of Orange and ancestor of all currently reigning monarchs in Europe, born in Kassel. Wow. So, hello European grandma. John Deere, 1804, a U.S. blacksmith and manufacturer, founded Deere & Company, born in Rutland, Vermont, died in 1886. I wonder if he was a John Deere from the tractor company, and yes, he is. Charles Dickens, 1812, was an English writer. Oliver Twist, A Tale of Two Cities, A Christmas Carol, to name a few. Born in Portsmouth, Hampshire, died in 1870. Well, happy birthday! I thought it was going to wish you a happy birthday today. I had some suspicion in my mind or something after reading about that article earlier in the show. We also have Laura Ingalls Wilder, 1867, a U.S. author, Little House on the Prairie, born in Pepin, Wisconsin. Died in 1957, so she was 90 years old. Yeah. Alright. Who else do we have here? We got Oh, Desmond Doss! 1919, a U.S. soldier and first conscientious objector to receive the Medal of Honor who was the subject of the film Hacksaw Ridge, born in Lynchburg, Virginia, and he died, unfortunately, in 2006. May you rest in peace. But, yeah, real badass guy. Went into war without a rifle. So, Hacksaw Ridge, that's a movie I have got to see. Maybe I'll do that some point soon. But, yeah, thank you for your service. Anyway, moving on up to Dan Queensberry, 1953, a U.S. MLB player, 5-time AL saves leader. AL is American League. Born in Santa Monica, California. Hey, and he died in 1998. Oh. All right. We also have Garth Brooks, 1962, a U.S. country singer, no fences, friends in low places. Born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He is 61 today. Happy birthday. Chris Rock. Hey. The guy who got slapped by Will Smith. Happy birthday today, 1966, U.S. comedian, SNL, Saturday Night Live. CB4, Everybody Hates Chris, born in Andrews, South Carolina. We have Steve Nash, 1974, Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame guard, NBA MVP 2005, 2006, 2000. Oh yeah, 8 times NBA All-Star, Dallas Mavericks, Phoenix Suns, LA Lakers, and coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Born in Johannesburg, South Africa. Ashton Kutcher, 1978, a U.S. model, actor, That 70s Shows, Kelso, Punk'd, 2.5 Men, 2011 through 15, and venture capitalist, born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, he played the cousin of Charlie after they got rid of him. Matthew Stafford, 1988, a U.S. football quarterback, Super Bowl 2022, LA Rams, Pro Bowl 2014, Detroit Lions, born in Tampa, Florida. Alright. Moving on up into deaths, we have 590. Pelagius II was a Gothic pope from 579 through 90, died from the plague. So Pope Pelagius. I read it as Pelagius. Wow. We also have Gustav IV Adolf, 1837, was a king of Sweden from 1792 through 1809. Died of a stroke at 58. Wow. Looks very French. We also have Harvey S. Firestone, 1938, a U.S. manufacturer and founder of the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, dies at the age of 69. So wow. So on the anniversary of John Deere's birthday is the death of Firestone. That's a really interesting, side thing. I don't know what the word for it is. You understand what I'm saying. Anne Moreau Lindbergh, 2001, a U.S. author and aviator, gift from the sea, died of a stroke at the age of 94. I wonder if she was the wife of Charles Lindbergh, or the daughter. Maybe wife. No. Oh, yep. She was the wife. All right. Moving on up, we have Albert Finney, 2019. English actor, the dresser under the volcano, died at the age of 82. Frank Robinson, 2019. A U.S. Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder, manager, 14-time MLB All-Star, National League MVP 1961, American League MVP 1966, World Series 1966 and 70 for the Baltimore Orioles. Died of bone cancer at 83. Ouch. Ouch, that sucks. Well, that's going to conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of passive events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time, uploading it on our other platforms at somewhere around 11 to 12. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!